Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? Alright, so I am doing another impromptu video that was requested. I've had quite a few mothers who have asked me to do videos on how to prepare baby food. It's been a little while and I keep promising them that I will do it, and I just did not have the time. So here it is. I'm trying not to be long, so I have gone ahead and I did some prepping before I started this video. All right, so I went ahead and I bought some baby food here just for demonstration, right? Let me see which one this is. This is the apple, right? That's the apple. This is, which one was this one? I don't know, some all type of mixture there. It's a whole bunch of stuff in that one, and this one is sweet potato. Okay, all right. So now when I was, when I talked to my mom, right? And those of you guys who know me, I'm from the Caribbean, and in my culture, my mom did not feed us baby food at all. I don't even think we know what, I mean, I'm sure she knew what baby food was, but growing up, I did not know what baby food from the store was because I never saw that in our household. My mom had three children, and she had all three of us at home with a midwife, right? She breastfed all three of us, and she just never gave us baby food like that, like this, like these things right here, right? We never got this. We grew up on a farm, and all of our baby food, even as we got older, was created from scratch. And that's just a conscious decision that you know what? I think it was just a part of our culture. I don't think that it's because, oh, she made a conscious decision. I think it was just a part of our culture. This is just how we grew up. It's just how we were raised, and it's just what she know as a mom. She just did not know anything about fake baby food from the store. She made everything from scratch. And so I'm glad that I was a part of that culture, because you know how the scripture says, you train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it. And I'm glad that my mom and my grandma and all the elders in my family, they pass some stuff down to us that is very valuable to us, as we got older. And so your baby food should not be sitting in a container on the shelf at the store. You know what I mean? There's preserved, something has to be in there to preserve it, because otherwise it would go bad. So there has to be something preserving these baby food, and I don't know what it is, and I really don't want to know. Right? So yeah, let me take a look at this one here. So I was taking a look at this one here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm looking at it, and it has apple, and it also has ground turkey, right? Apple and ground turkey. And if you ever wonder why your baby is up all night crying and just miserable and crying, a lot of the times mothers are feeding their babies these things, and they don't realize that these things are causing stomach problem. It's causing gastrointestinal problem for the baby, because you're not supposed to mix fruit and meat at the same time. It will cause acid reflux. And I've spoken to mothers who have called me on my phone telling me that their babies are suffering with acid reflux. Young babies, as young as 3, 4, 5, 6 months old. Newborn, like those are newborn. And struggling with stomach problem, acid reflux. And this is some of the reason why, when you're mixing meat, turkey, I don't know if you guys can see that. Freshly ground turkey right there, and apple puree, right? Let me see. Apple puree concentrate, apple puree, right? Sweet potato, ground turkey, and lemon juice. So all of that mixed together is going to cause acid reflux or some type of digestive problem, because you're mixing all of these different foods together and giving a young baby fruits, turkey, meat. That's meat. And then you're putting lemon and apples and all these things in one food for a baby. That is, if you know anything about nutrition, you should know that that mixture is a no-no, especially for a child that has a very, immature, um, stomach, pretty much organs. The organs are not mature yet, so they're not supposed to be eating all that. But anyway, so today I'm going to show you guys. I have a piece of sweet potato here, right? This is sweet potato. And then I have some apples there, right? So today I'm just going to show you guys how I prepared the baby food from scratch, just using these two little things here, right? So right over here in my little pot here, right? I already went ahead and I boiled the sweet potato. And if you're wondering what those green things are, this right there is basil. That's basil. That's fresh basil and scallion, right? And you might be wondering, well, why do you have scallion and basil in the baby food? Okay, so listen, guys. When I was growing up, Mom gave us herb. You have to train your baby's taste buds, their palates, to become familiar with herbs, like natural herbs and natural food, right? Because they're getting older and you don't want them to be picky eaters, right? So things like herbs are things that my mom fed us as we got older. We would get herbal teas and stuff like that. She would either put it in our bottles. She would, when she used to breastfeed us, she would consume all of these nice things, and then we would be getting it from her breast milk, right? So what I did was I boiled the sweet potato, and I also, right at the very end of that, I throw some herbs in there, some fresh herbs in there, and that's going to give it a little bit of flavor. And you're trying gradually to kind of train your child taste palates to get used to consuming fresh herbs, stuff like that. So that way, as they get older, you can gradually introduce them to herbal tea, because you guys know I'm the herb lady. I always teach about herbs. Herbs are very good for everybody, right? And this is, the scripture says, again, train up a child. You have to start somewhere. And it starts from the mom consuming healthy stuff while she's breastfeeding. And so the child can get these things through the breast milk. And when the child is old enough to have, food, then you might want to introduce these things to the child, right? So sweet potato with a little bit of herbs in there, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this in my blender. And I'm just going to show you guys how easy it is to make baby food. So I will be back in just a second. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I put, this is my little blender here, right? My little blender. So I went ahead and I put the potatoes in my little blender there, because I am going to be blending it, right? And in here, in this cup, I have a little bit of oat milk, right? And for those of you who've been watching my channel, I do have a video that I showed you guys how to make the oat milk, right? And so I'm going to pour the oat milk into this, because I'm going to use that and blend, right? That's some oat milk. And so I'm going to be back. I'm going to go off camera for a little couple of seconds here, and I'm going to be blending this, right? Okay, I'll be back. All right, guys, so I went off camera and I blended my potato, and there it is, right? There it is. Now, let me say this. If you are a breastfeeding mom and you still have milk in the breast, right, and you're trying to introduce your baby to this type of food, you can use some of your breast milk to blend your potato with, your food with, okay, for the baby. It's breast milk, and they eat it. They drink it rather. So you can use your breast milk to do this. So all I have in here is just fresh potatoes, and a little bit of a little hint of herbs, right? Fresh herbs, a little bit of fresh basil with some scallion, right? And like I said, and some oat milk, right? And so, like I said, if you are breastfeed, if you have breast milk, you can pump your milk and use that to blend this, okay? So now, let's put that to the side. Let's put that to the side. There we go. Over here, right, I have some apples. I don't know why I can't remember apples. Right, I have some apples over here, right? So what I did was I boiled the apple, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I boiled the apple, because babies are not really supposed to be eating raw fruits. Babies that are as young as 6 to 8 or 10 months, you don't want to introduce them to raw fruits like that, because let's be honest, fruits have parasites and bacterias on them. They're coming from outside in the atmosphere, and people are touching them, and they're falling down, and we don't really know how they get into the supermarket. So we have to be careful what we're giving our babies. Their stomach, their little tummies are very delicate, right? And so you want to boil your fruit just a little bit before you give it to the babies. So what I did was I just peel my apples, right? Just peel them, and boil your water. Boil your water, throw the apples in there, and just boil your apple for about a minute, right? And that's going to kind of help to kill any bacteria that might be on your fruits if you're trying to make fruit for your little ones, okay? It's going to help to kind of kill any type of bacteria on there, hopefully, right? Hopefully. Yeah, you boil it for about a minute or so, right? So I'm going to go ahead again off camera and throw this again in my blender, and I'll be back. All right, guys, so here we are with our apple sauce, right? I did went ahead and add a little bit of ground ginger. I'm sorry, not ginger, cinnamon. I did add a little hint of cinnamon to this just to give it a little bit of, spice. You know what I mean? You want to introduce a little bit of herbal spice to your baby taste buds as they're getting older. Now, this type of food I personally would recommend to a baby after they're past 6 months old, because I strongly believe that mothers should be breastfeeding their baby. My mom breastfed us. I know she told me she breastfed me until I was 2 years old, okay? So I'm all for breastfeeding, honey, okay? But I know a lot of people, you got to go back to work, and you have things to do. But I say 6 months is the least amount of time you should breastfeed. And that's not even enough for me personally, but that's just my opinion. You do what you do, but this type of food I would start giving a baby when they're about 7 to 8 months old. You know what I mean? Let me just show you guys the consistency here. I did get a little bit of the skin in there. That was my mistake, but you want to peel your apple. All right, so this is just fresh applesauce for your baby, right? And this took me, what is it? You boil the water and you add the apples in the water, right? And you boil it for a minute. This whole thing took me less than 7 minutes to do. Your potatoes is going to boil in like 2 minutes, okay? Your apple, you're throwing it in the water for about a minute, and that's it. And then you allow it to cool down and you blend it. That's all you're doing. This is really not going to take up a lot of your time, because I hear a lot of moms say they don't have the time. If you get up and you prep this a few times a week, This is really nothing. It's not going to take any time out of your day. If you have to cook for yourself as a mother, or for you and your family, your husband, you can cook your baby food along with everything else that you're cooking. You know what I mean? Just add a second pot to the stove and throw the potatoes in there, or throw the apples in there, or throw whatever it is that you're cooking for your baby in there, and just cook it right along with everything else, really isn't time consuming at all, because today I have been really busy, and this literally took me less than 10 minutes. Seriously. So there you go. And like I said, the reason you want to make sure that your apples, your fruits, any fruit that you're going to be giving your babies, you want to put it in some hot water to minimize the chance of any type of bacteria. Okay, guys? That's very important. So there you have it. Let's move that out the way. All right. So, got your sweet potato and your applesauce. Look at that. Have fun, guys. Make sure you guys take care of the babies, okay? Love you guys. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye now. By the way, before I go, this is for the moms who have been asking me, what can I give my babies to make sure that they to help with their cough or respiratory system, overall respiratory system, right? Elderberries. You could put this in your baby food, all right? Or you, mom, if you're breastfeeding, hopefully there we go. You, mommy, can drink this, and your child can get this through your breast milk, okay? Elderberries have so much health benefits for the immune system, for the respiratory system. If you're worried about taking care of your baby respiratory system, I have elderberries in here. I have another formula, which I'm going to show you right now. This one right here. My phone is acting crazy. It's not zooming properly. There we go. Hopefully that's... Okay, there we go. Children's cough and immune. That's what it says, right? This formula right here I created. This is very good for children's immune system, and if they're coughing, and if you're breastfeeding, you mommies can take this. You should be taking this, and your baby should be getting this through your breast milk. There are elderberries in here as well, and there is a very good herb in here called wild cherry bark. And if you guys have been watching my channel, you have heard me talk about wild cherry bark a lot of times and how good it is for children. Wild cherry bark. I suggest you Google it, look it up, do your research on wild cherry bark. It's one of the best herbs for children's immune system, okay? So I have that in here. I have elderberries in here and quite a few other herbs for the children, for the babies. If the baby is too young and they're breastfeeding, mommy, you should be ingesting this, and the baby will get the benefit through your breast milk to help them with their respiratory condition, okay? I just wanted to make that, I had quite a few people asking me what is good for baby respiratory system, all right? There we go. These two formulas are on the website Grassroot Botanicals. I'm going to put the link below this video when I posted the video, okay? Grassroot Botanicals. GRASSROOT BOTANICALS. Grassroot Botanicals. That's where you will find these things. All right, guys. Again, love you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.